Hello and good morning. Now, just a big welcome to my Paleo Keto Party kitchen, and I'm Be Kassapian, and I'm a professional chef and cookery teacher and demonstrator, and I have been for over 30 years. And I'm delighted to bring you today my Paleo Keto Party kitchen because I specialise in Paleo Keto cooking for health and longevity. But I also want you to know I have an amazing online cookery school where I teach teenagers specifically doing their Duke of Edinburgh or DOE skills, cooking skills, which I love, and I have an amazing program which I adore, Be in the Kitchen Reset, which is a 3-month period where I work with you one-to-one to revolutionise how you eat and how you live to get you maximum energy and joy using my specialist functional medicine sometimes, but my nutrition therapist skills. So that's a nutshell of what I do. But today is my Paleo Keto Party kitchen, and I'm here to do a lovely cookery demonstration, which I'll enjoy with a top tip of a really useful little foodie tool that you can have, a hack that you can use to keep yourself on the straight and narrow. Now, in fact, today I happen to be in Scotland on the Western Isles. So this is a YouTube pre-recorded video, but it's absolutely right for now because the sun is coming out. I'm actually a bit chilly where I am up in Scotland at the moment, but further down south or wherever else in the world you are, this is going to be really wonderful for you. So I think you know, if you know me well, you know that I love my greens and I love my herbs, and I often bring a pesto of some sort into the kitchen or some sort of green oil or something. And again, I've got things growing in my garden and ingredients in the fridge that I just thought this would be perfect to have another one of my green concoctions, which will, it can freeze beautifully or it will sit in the fridge. And these do last a really good long time in the fridge. And so that is what we're doing today. Now, I have got some wild garlic in my garden. So I have literally just been out there, the flowers are there, and I'm going to use that as a base for this pesto. So I'm doing a plant-based pesto, and so in that goes. Now I've also got in the fridge some watercress that I've had for a few days. It's still looking really, really good, but we had it for supper last night, and you know, it's going to go off if I don't use it. So what better to get it into a pesto? So this is really, really lovely. So 2 really wonderful ingredients. And we have also had a delicious lamb casserole last night, and with wonderful spices. It had saffron in it and it had cumin in it. It was just so good. And it had coriander to garnish with it. Now, did you know that coriander is the most medicinal of all herbs? It really packs a punch. But you also need to know that there is a coriander gene, and many of us, I think it could even be something like 20% of the nation, have this gene, and it makes coriander taste like soap. So if you have people around you, your friends, family, go, oh, I don't like coriander, please respect that. They have probably got the coriander gene. Do not give them coriander. It will just make them sad and cry. But if you don't, you can then use it in this wonderful, wonderful pesto and all your curries. Now, I've got loads here, so I'm going to keep some for the rest of the weekend looking pretty. And I've actually started to grow some in my garden. I haven't had huge success. It bolts quite quickly. But anyway, we'll give it another go this year. Now, the wonderful thing about coriander is that you can use the stalks as well. So I'll just chop that up just a little bit and in that go. So in this machine here, I've got 3 really, really wonderful green things. Coriander, again, with the most medicinal, all the herbs. The watercress is renowned for its iron. And it's so good to get natural sources of iron. Last night, within the lamb casserole, there were some apricots, and apricots are an amazing source of iron. But of course, they are full of sugar. So I didn't eat the apricots in the casserole, but everybody else enjoyed them. And, you know, I just keep an eye on the sugar where it goes in. So that is just worth bearing in mind. So in this pesto, to bring out the iron, to allow our body to absorb the iron, I'm going to put some vitamin C because that is a really important addition. And I find when I make these sort of off-the-wall green pestos and not the traditional ones, that actually lemon juice is quite good. Particularly when I put kale in as well, that's a really good thing. But it's important that it goes in because of the vitamin C element, vitamin C element that's going to allow my body to absorb the iron. Years ago, I had a real problem. My iron left my body completely, and GPs didn't really know what was going on, and well, eventually the blood test told them, but I then had to build myself back up again. Now, the GPs in the UK, you just get given a standard iron tablet. It is renowned for being slow to work, making you constipated, making you feel awful, okay? So when you take iron, you want iron bisglycinate, okay? That's really important, and there are various suppliers around. Knowing the right supply, knowing the right dose is really important. I use something called Vega, and it was a wonderful 50 gram dose, and I had one in the morning, one in the evening, and that, along with the most amazing diet of offal chicken livers, watercress, all these amazing things, pumpkin seeds, my iron went up really quickly, and I was monitoring myself. So it was just fantastic to know that you can improve these things. But I have to say, in the UK, if you're prescribed iron by your GP, you are going to not be in a good place. And please know that there are other ways around it, or alongside it. But the constipation that goes with those, I can't remember their name, with those typical iron tablets is horrendous. So you've got to make sure you have masses of fibre, and that's another subject. We'll talk about that another day, shall we? Oh my goodness, this is Saturday morning and the sun is shining. We need to light the load. So come on, let's get back to this green pesto. Now, we need some cheese in here, and I just love this nutritional yeast. I call it kind of fish food. I just put loads in there. I've got more, that's the end of one tin. I've got more if needs be. Now garlic, of course, will go in, but I've got the wild garlic leaves in there, so that sorts that out. Now I've got pine kernels, but also, what about other nuts that we can put in? And Brazil nuts are a great one to go in for their selenium content. We want to make sure they're not from China, because there's no selenium in the soil in China. In fact, the word is out that the only place in the UK where there's selenium in the soil is in Dutchy on the Dutchy farms. King Charles, he's made sure of it. I imagine that wonderful Riverford, they've got it sorted down there as well, and other organic farms. But particularly don't buy your Brazil nuts from China, because that's a problem. Now, how about some walnuts in there? Grain food. Oh, they're really, really good too. You haven't got those, you could just use ground almonds. It's Saturday. I'm big frivolous. I've got my gorgeous in-laws here. Let us have some pine kernels in there too. And I'm going to keep a few back because they're good for nibbling on, if you want to. Right, so we need some really good black pepper. And this is so good because you can plonk it into soups like a blob. You can smear it on the lovely nut and seed loaves that I make and toast. Do you know, I am really loving my Ninja 15-in-1 air fryer, this toy here. Oh, I'll put it here. That's it. Absolutely loving that. Loving it for cooking bacon in. Putting in a couple of rashers of delicious, really going nitro-free back bacon for 6 minutes, and it's just wonderful. And then what I did the other day is like, okay, well let's go a bit further. So I've got some of my lovely nut and seed loaf, which I have to hand here. I have it in the fridge and I have it in the freezer ready sliced, and you can put a couple of slices of that in, smear it with this wonderful pesto and your bacon into the air fryer for 6 minutes. Oh my goodness, is that amazing? So, I have all these wonderful things going on to support the way I live, and that is such an amazing breakfast. Now, olive oil. So let's get some really, really lovely, this is my lovely Italian olive oil. We'll give that a good blob there, and then let's get that machine running. So it's going to be noisy, so you can sing. Nearly there. Cheese in, you can, so it just depends on your diet. Just coming back to this whole dairy thing, okay, many of us are intolerant to dairy, lots of hormones in it. If you're in a menopausal kind of place, it's a really good idea to knock it on the head. If you can't bear the idea of knock it on the head for a while and seeing how you feel, then swerve it into the goats and sheep cheese lane. Lovely feta. You know, that is a really good place to be because sheep and goats have a different digestive system to a cow. They don't grow as big, so they're not producing all that growth hormone. We don't need more hormones in our body. They're tart and really delicious, and so you can use those in this lovely pesto. And in fact, my goodness, I know I've got a little bit of feta. When you buy feta, do look for the one that is sheep and goat's cheese, because I keep a little pot, and I'm just going to put that in there. It's going to add a sort of creaminess and a deliciousness. So, you know, you can get excited by this. Now, that consistency is not runny enough yet, so a bit more olive oil. I want it to be a nice spreadable paste. Then I'll just taste it. Okay. Ooh, I can smell all the green flavours coming up. So when you've got that mixture of herbs, you've got to really work on the tasting, because it's no good thinking it's just going to be nice. You've got to actually balance the flavours again. So, yum. Can I taste it? Actually, I can't really taste the garlic coming through. That would be a terrible thing in pesto. So let's get a clove of garlic, an extra clove of garlic. Oh, maybe I can. Well, what the heck? We all know how amazing garlic is for you. So let's just put that in there. Saltiness coming through. So that's good. Saltiness coming through. I'm going to put a little bit more of the nutritional yeast flakes in. And a little bit of that pepper. And then we'll have another taste and see what we think. Yum. Now this will, you know, mellow, so we'll make it and taste it so that it's as good as it can be. But then, when it's sat in the fridge for half a day, go back and retaste and see what you think. Now, oh, yum. Okay, that is really something. Now, other fun things you can add. You said the trouble is, if I do that, you can add things like sun-dried tomato paste. But please be aware that if you do that, that sugar in that concentrate is going up. So it's no good. It's really a dodgy area to go into for paleo keto. You could put in some tapenade and black olive paste. That works really well. But I quite like to keep those things separate. So I think that is all. Let me show you this wonderful, wonderful green pesto, which I think I know you're going to really enjoy. And do have a go at my top tip of sort of popping some on the toast and in the oven or in your air fryer and tasting and crunching it. It's delicious with poached eggs on top, a bit of rocket, all good. So I think that is, oh no, look, there's another little health hack going on here that I want to show you, because over here I have got a huge great cauldron of chicken stock. So we will do this together one day properly from start to finish. But just a reminder that the medicinal qualities of homemade bone broth are amazing. And yesterday, actually the night before, I went and bought lovely shoulder of lamb from the butcher, and I asked for the bones as well, and I browned them, and I made overnight. I had in the slow cooker, I had the lamb stock, and yesterday when I woke up, wonderful smell of the broth, and then I was able to make the casserole, put it back in the slow cooker, and it was just, no wonder it was so good, because it just couldn't fail, could it? So, over and out. Thank you for joining in. Really lovely to see you, and I will see you next week. Okay, bye.